I'm in real life, I would be in the living room with my mom, and I'd be like, "Hey mom, guess what?" And she'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "What?" Something stupid, right? I'm literally that stupid in real life.
Yo, Fromies! Welcome to episode number 9 of Streamers Unplugged, unplugging creators from their content and connecting them right to you. Today we have a very special guest, a legendary speedrunner in the Nintendo community who has broken many records in games such as Super Mario 64 and has made a huge name for himself and created a large community along the way. I'm excited to announce the one and only Cheese. Welcome on the channel.
Hi. I haven't actually done one of these in quite a few years. I remember, I don't know, I guess the first half of my speedrun career, it was like all the time people reaching out. Can I do an interview? You want to do this? You want to make a video? Tons of interviews. But the past about 5 years or so, it's like I don't know if it's a decline in people wanting to do this kind of an interview content. I don't know, but
how was your first one? How did it go? Like when you did it back in the day?
Oh geez, I don't even remember which my first one was, but like, I mean, most of them were similar in like terms of like repeating questions, you know, the classic speedrun questions. How did you start speedrunning? Why Mario 64? Well, you know, and it's, yeah, but that's gonna happen. But they were fine. Yeah, they were great. I like doing them. Sometimes it's also nice to literally just talk through thoughts and feelings, you know, because sometimes you can go a really long time without talking about any sort of feelings you have towards your career or speedrunning or anything to anybody, and then until you get interviewed, and then you're just talking, and a lot of times I would like feel better afterwards. So I like doing them.
Yeah, because it's kind of like nice to sit down and like talk about your career in general, you know, like tell somebody about it, you know, people that really could care, because when it comes to content creation, it's kind of hard to talk to people that are just not in content creation about it, because they're like, oh, cool, yeah, you got a new follow, or like, you got this, yay. But like, if you talk to people that are in the same field, they're more understanding and they're more interested, you know, so.
I would actually say from an outside perspective, people who don't know much about content creation, sometimes it could be when you tell them what you do and stuff, they immediately assume, oh, you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
So they assume, oh, it must be amazing. You're like a celebrity then. You have 100,000 followers or whatever. Oh my God, like, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like I don't know. It becomes harder. I think that's another reason why I think it's harder to speak to people that don't know about the space. Yeah. Because it's like I can't. Whatever I tell you, you're not gonna understand at all. You just don't. So yeah. So talking to other creators about stuff is nice, but also when you have loyal viewers that are always there and have been watching you for a long time, they understand you more, and they know, right, what you're feeling and what you're doing now, because they've been watching you forever. So it's like sometimes your stream could be a nice place to just talk about this stuff too, because at least some viewers are gonna understand. That's why I like streaming so much, I think, much more so than like YouTube and stuff. Yeah, I like live streaming because live streaming is like, it's so intimate.
It is, yeah, and like YouTube, it's kind of hard to be like that, because obviously your intimacy is like comments, and usually the comment section usually isn't that great sometimes on YouTube.
Most times, yeah.
But I'm gonna go to the beginning of your career though. So speaking of streaming, you know, your career back in 2013, it looks like you started playing Call of Duty at one point.
That was I mean, my first year of the career was chaotic. I would say my career, whatever, kind of started in the beginning of 2015, which is actually when I got partner on YouTube, right? So almost exactly 10 years. And the Call of Duty era was exactly 5 years ago. So it was halfway through of my career, I guess. But I already had 5-6 years of like hardcore speedrunning behind that, right? But that was basically just me, I guess you could say, burnt out. I was a bit tired, so I wanted to try new stuff. Simply is the one who got me into Warzone. Like when Warzone came out, I don't know, March 2020, and then April, May, Simply was playing Warzone, and he's like, yo, you gotta try this with me, Cheese. I know you played COD. And it's funny because the same thing happened 2 years prior with PUBG. Okay. He played PUBG, he got me into PUBG, got me addicted to it, and then that ended, and then Warzone, same thing happened. Simply played, and he was like, yo, come play with me. I played some Warzone, got addicted to it. It was super fun. And I was just like, all right, I guess while I'm on break, might as well do this until I get bored, I guess. So there was like a 10-month period in 2020 where I streamed Call of Duty Warzone, and I was very good at it.
Okay.
I was like, at one point I was top 200 on the leaderboards
Holy.
for like kill death ratio and wins and stuff. And I was like kind of trying to, I don't know, I was trying to grow in that space. But Call of Duty is insanely saturated. Call of Duty is very much one of those games where there are the big titans from forever, and everybody just flocking into the few big streamers, you know, because it's like these people who have a big following already are as good as these other people who have 100 viewers. Why would I watch them? Just watch the big guy. It was very much that thing. So like it felt impossible to grow in that space unless you were like getting million view clips on TikTok and shit. It wasn't really doing much. So I did that for about 10 months and I just didn't really grow. It was just stagnant, and they started making changes to the game, brought new maps out. I got bored, went back to speedrunning, which always happens. That was my biggest break, was 10 months in 2020. Apart from that, for the past like 10, 11 years, I've been speedrunning relatively consistently since, which is a long time.
That is a really long time. Oh my gosh.
It's a very long time, yeah.
But you played a few different games as well, though. I mean, I saw that you played OOT as well. You played a few other games. Rec Room, I think, was the other one too. So
Rec
like,
Room.
Yeah. I don't know what Rec Room was. I've never heard of that game ever.
I played Rec Room?
Yeah, it's on your speedrun.com page.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you might be looking. Are you sure you're not looking at a different page?
I hope not.
Oh, you know what? I got hacked on speedrun.com like years ago. It happened to a lot of people. But somebody somehow logged into my profile, and I was getting emails of random games saying, oh, you uploaded a speedrun on speedrun.com with this game. And I was like, what? And I realized somebody just like hacked into my account and was uploading speedruns on it.
What the hell?
So some of those are not real. No, it's not me.
Well, okay, then you didn't do Rec Room.
Which is funny. I did not do Rec Room, no. But but for the record, I've speedrun OOT, Mario 64, Celeste for a few months, and Odyssey for like literally a week.
What did you play in Odyssey? Was it any percent?
Yeah, I did any percent for literally 1 week in November of 2018 for a challenge thing that EasyScape did.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a video on it on YouTube. He ran a 1 week challenge for a speedrunner. He chose me to play a game from scratch and see if he could beat a certain time in a week. So the goal was beat a 110 in Odyssey any percent in a week, and I did. Like literally on the last day, in the last run, I got a 109.
Hell yeah!
It was really cool.
Let's go.
But the problem is that I played like 12 hours a day every day for a week straight. So I developed like hardcore tendonitis and hand pain after that. So I had to like take a break, and I never played Odyssey again.
Would you ever go back to it?
I would go back to it if I found motivation, because right now at this point in my life, I realize after so long speedrunning, I think I realized that motivation for speedrunning is obviously lower than it was years ago, which is natural. You spend 10 years doing something, it's natural. Like it's harder to find like raw motivation to like speedrun something new.
Of course, yeah.
I don't know. I have to sum up motivation of some kind for some reason to want to like go back and learn the whole speedrun again.
Yeah, because I know that you're playing like some Pokemon and stuff like that too, which, you know, that's like non-speedrunning stuff at the moment, so that's pretty nice to like kind of take a break from it. But you're also still doing Iron Mario, which is kind of cool too. Because
we're talking about speedrunning right now, but like Pokemon speedruns exist, but Pokemon, what interests me a lot is the challenge stuff, like the Ironmon and Nuzlocke and all these things that exist in Pokemon. To me, looks like, and I mean, this, again, it's another topic of conversation we could have, but the obvious shift from like speedrunners moving towards stuff like randomizers and challenge runs as opposed to RTA speedruns, that's a whole other thing. But for a long time, I used to think that was, I would look at that and be like, why are so much people doing that? Where is the RTA speedrunning? But I'm starting to understand more why people do that now, because I imagine stuff like Nuzlocke challenges and Pokemon or whatever is like a more or less stressful, easier way to keep enjoying your fun games that you love, that doesn't require so many hours of practice and research and practice and failing and frustration to just get a run, you know what I mean? Which is great, and it would always be a thing, and RTS speedrunning is always going to have its place. But these challenge runs, I totally get why people like it, and it brings new life into the games that we have played for 20 years. So Pokemon to me feels that way. It gives me that feeling of, and I'm not even doing the challenge stuff yet. I'm literally playing vanilla Pokemon, and even vanilla Pokemon, I get that feeling of like, there's infinite ways to play this game. And I can imagine doing like Nuzlocke and Ironmons. It's like even more so. Then you have the randomizer aspect. So to I guess to answer the whole like question that people might have of why are you playing Pokemon or Iron Mario, is because right now I don't think I have the brain for RTS speedrunning, and this is the perfect thing to do. Like I still get to play these games, and I'm finding new ways to like enjoy it. So like why not?
You know, we were talking about your content as well, like how SM64 was kind of, you know, you kind of got burnt out, you played some Call of Duty, but you also did other content as well. You you had a whole podcast.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's
with the big simp himself.
Yeah, you had your whole podcast too, which I thought was really cool because it's almost similar to mine, but yours is about speedrunning, whereas mine is about streaming. And I never even knew you had a podcast. So like, how was that? Like when you simply did that?
It was tough. And the thing is, like, I wish it was more like a podcast, because podcast is more conversational. But our thing was more like an interview, where it was like, okay, what's the next question? Answer the question. Maybe have some conversation. And then, but it was more so we had a list of questions and we followed the list of things. Sometimes I wasn't so great at it, and I would like not have much questions, and but I could have been a lot better, but I was also a lot more naive and younger, and I didn't really know what I was doing. But I mean, it was fun, but then it was also really stressful because we wanted to have a show a week, which we didn't realize how much work it actually takes to have an episode every week.
Oh my god, yeah, I couldn't do that.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's actually a lot. We didn't realize we want to have a show every week and have a new guest every week. It takes time. It actually takes more time than you would think to think of a new guest and actually get one scheduled and stuff, and then come up with a whole list of questions and research for each one.
Yes.
It was a lot. And honestly, I would love to do something like that again, but once a month maybe.
Okay.
Not once a week. Once a week is too much. Again, I think, broadening, making it more generalized, like streaming / speedrunning, not only about speedrunning or general streaming and gaming, but under the umbrella of speedrunner, like it's speedrunners talking about streaming.
Right.
So obviously there's going to be some speedrun-esque stuff. I think I would love to do something like that because I have so much thoughts and feelings about stuff that, and it can be therapeutic, you know.
It is, yeah, right.
It can be therapeutic for me, and I think there's a lot of like podcasty type information about speedrunning in the community that doesn't exist and should exist. There's so much shit we can talk about that we don't really. Again, going back to Two Dads podcast, it was fun. It was in like 2018, 2019, so it was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
It was fun. We had some great guests. We had people like Summoning Salt on there. We had PPMD. I don't know how much you know about Melee.
Not too much,
PPMD.
no.
PPMD is one of the gods of Melee. Like people like Hungrybox, Mango, Me2 King. PPMD is one of the guys.
Okay.
And PPMD was absent for a long time because he had some health stuff, and he was just AFK for years. And then I got a message randomly on Twitter from PPMD, and he's like, yo, I was wondering if you guys would have me on your podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And that when we went live with the episode of PPMD, I had like 3,000 viewers. It was crazy.
Damn.
It was people were like, oh my god, PPMD appearance on these Mario guys stream.
Yeah.
And I remember wondering, like, why do you want to be on our show? And it turns out he was a huge fan of speedrunning and thought that he looked up to us. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But it was hard work. I didn't realize how hard doing podcasts or shows and stuff is, but it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of research too. Like every guest that I have on for my show, it's like I do at least 2 weeks before. So you know, just doing it at work or whatever, like at night before bed, just kind of going through and just, you know, getting facts and just kind of formulating my questions. So like it's kind of cool though. Like when I saw that you did that, I'm like, that's fucking really sick, because I think that many people really could benefit from a podcast like that, to be honest, like speedrunning, because you have to have the mentality for it, obviously, you know, like you got to get, you know, the anger down, get the good mindset, all that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, and like honestly, you know, when it comes to streaming, you want to be playing what you enjoy, because if you're just kind of sitting there playing something that you don't want to enjoy, then you're just like, you know, you're just like, okay, here we go again. It's like, okay, we're doing the run again, and like everybody can tell that you're not enjoying it. It reflects onto the audience, and it's like, okay.
That's it. That's literally exactly what I was doing for a long time. Like not all the time, but sometimes it literally felt. That literally is not that it felt. It was what I was doing. That there were days where I would be like, all right, I have to go live. Here we go again. Pick up the controller, just do runs, and maybe I'll feel something today. No, it's awful. It really is. It's not good. It's not good. And then some people would say, well, you know, it's what you're known for. You got to give people what they want. Sure, but like, I don't know if giving people what they want to see should trump my feelings of what I enjoy. I don't think it should.
No, I agree. You know, it's always important to like do what you want to do and not let, I guess, the majority of voices tell you what you have to do. Because it almost turns like you're like, it almost like makes you like into like a little cage at a circus, and it's like, okay, we're gonna watch this guy do this thing over and over again, even though he doesn't want to do it, you know. So if you're not enjoying it, you're not even fully there. And it's kind of like your soul is just leaving your body while you're just sitting here like doing whatever it is.
That literally is what it feels like. That's the funny thing. Like it literally sometimes feels like my soul is leaving my body and I'm on full autopilot. And I've even noticed that in Iron Mario, funny enough.
Oh, really?
I really enjoy Iron Mario because again, it's breathing new life into Mario 64 for me, because for a very long time, I always saw Mario 64 as, okay, I speedrun the game and I've done it for a long time. I clearly enjoy it. And I want to keep doing Mario, but what do? Iron Mario came out. Well, I created, it's funny, before Iron Mario came out, literally last year in around September during my subathon, some people have done damageless 120 star, like vanilla speedrun, but don't take damage. And I was like, I want to do that, but like, how can I mix it up? Oh, what if I attempt damageless randomizer, which is what Iron Mario is, but it was not it was just the randomizer hack, and I just went in and I created my own rules. I was like, I just can't take damage. It's a very crazy moment of like fate kind of thing, because the day I completed it was the day that I raided Waffle Smacker, which is one of the main guys behind the whole Iron Mario thing. And it was like the day that he started streaming Iron Mario. So the day I completed the challenge was the day I raided him, which was when he was doing a stream of Iron Mario. When it just came out. So it was so great. It was like fate. So Iron Mario came out, which is a very refined, awesome ROM hack version of that. And I've been enjoying it so much. But like, even so, now it's been a few months of doing a lot of Iron Mario, and I'm finding myself falling into autopilot mode a lot.
Oh no.
And I don't think it has to do with Iron Mario, but it has to do with just the fact that I have played so much Mario 64. That regardless of whatever type of Mario 64 I play, my brain is going to fall into an autopilot mode after a short time. It's really hard because, you know, I'm thinking about real life. I'm thinking about, I have to do my taxes. I have to do this. And I'm trying to play a game.
Yeah,
because when I started speedrunning 10 years ago, when I was 19 and I started speedrunning, I was a kid. I didn't have to worry about shit. So
yeah, right. Oh, yeah,
it was just video games. But now I'm 30 and I have an insane plethora of responsibilities. So I'm thinking about life. The last thing I'm thinking of is the game.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right? Which it should be, in that moment, it needs to be the complete opposite. I need to, and it's really hard doing that. I would say it's the biggest obstacle that I have to climb.
You know, since you're a full-time content creator, like, what would be the hardest thing as a content creator? And you just answered the question for that. Is there anything?
It's probably more stuff.
Yeah, probably, right? You can talk about it.
I guess the constant worry of, am I being entertaining? Is my viewer count good? Should I be doing this right now? Maybe I should do this content. Maybe I should. Are people enjoying watching me right now? That's like a constant thought that you have
Yep.
every minute of being live. 10 years ago, I never thought about that. It was just all I just play the game and people were interacting and they were excited. Nowadays, it's like I have to fucking jump over cars and, do cartwheels and play the game and get world records all at the same time, or else
Yeah.
who cares? No big deal.
So how do you
Comparing
navigate
yourself
that?
to others. How do I navigate that? I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out, but like I have gotten a lot of progress. So it's funny you ask that. I personally, because that's a personal question. Every streamer would have their way of navigating it.
Yep.
I could maybe give my experience and it might help others, but like about 2 years ago, I was like probably at an all-time low when it comes to streaming. So early 2023, I just met my best friend now, who's also one of my mods, Snelms Deep. I don't know if you've seen her in chat. She's my best friend. She's my platonic soulmate. I love her forever. We met at the beginning of 2023 is when we started becoming friends, and I took 3 months off of streaming in the beginning of 2023, just because I was like in a kind of relatively depressive state. I did not know what I wanted to do on stream. I did not want to play Mario at the time. So I was like so connected with Mario that when Mario didn't feel right for me, I just didn't know what to do. I was playing a lot of RuneScape, meeting new people. That's how I met her. Just chilling, which was not good. Taking that time off of stream is really bad for your stream.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, I don't care right now. And I came back to streaming, and what did I do? Mario. I was like, well, I gotta start back with Mario, I guess. And I was like, again, I was not really feeling it.
Right.
And then I remember there was one day, maybe like April, May of 2023, I was in my house and I was really bad. And I was crying in my room. My mom came in and she was like, what happened? What's going on? Please talk to me. And I was telling her, I don't know. I might quit streaming or something. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
You were thinking about it.
I was thinking maybe this is not for me anymore. Because I'm watching all of my other friends, watching Simply, Linkus, Margin Phil, all these guys who were in CLG with me doing great, doing amazing. They're pumping out content. And I'm just here. I just don't care. I don't want to do it. I just don't. So I was thinking maybe this is not for me anymore. It was very scary because, I have responsibility. I have to pay bills. I need to make money. So that happened. And then Snelms was trying to help me. She was getting into the streaming space, understanding things more. She helped me so much. And I was watching Shift do his subathon. Shift actually kind of had a lot to do with helping my mentality towards my stream, I guess. So yeah, shout out to Shift.
Really? Okay.
He was in a sense that he just happened to be doing a subathon. I happened to watch his stream, and I was like, what if I do a subathon? And I was like, why not? I was like, I guess I could. And I was immediately like, oh, that sounds so scary. I'm terrified. How am I going to plan that? How am I going to execute it? Oh, it's going to be bad. I'm embarrassed. Of course, right? Because everybody has those thoughts.
Of course, yeah.
But I was like, maybe this is like, I'm going to try to do a subathon to force myself to do shit.
Yeah.
And if I enjoy it, awesome. If I don't, maybe it could be like the last thing I do. And Snelms helped so much in helping me set it up and motivating me and telling me, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Just try it. And without her, I don't think I would have done it because I needed a lot of emotional support and she gave it to me. And I did my first subathon in August 2023. It lasted 44 days, way more than I thought. I got like 8,000 subs.
Holy shit.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe how good it was. But the best part is I grew such an amazing community through that subathon. I felt so much more connected with my community after those 44 days, and so much chatters that were just hanging out in the stream every day, gained relationships amongst each other, and created this like vibe, because every streamer has like the chat vibe.
Right.
My chat vibe started from that subathon, and I fell in love with my stream after that. And the subathon forced me to play all sorts of games I never played before, and that stuff I would never do on stream otherwise. So that made me realize, oh, it's not so scary streaming other games. I don't have to do only Mario. Yes, I get half the viewership in some games I play, but who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. There are going to be people there enjoying it.
Yep.
it's okay. What was the hardest thing to get to, I guess, accept as a streamer, or to be okay with as a streamer, or something along those lines, is the accepting having less viewers for certain content. That is like the hardest thing as a streamer. Like it's a very weird, slightly egotistical pain of like, I suck, I'm a terrible streamer, oh, I'm a terrible person, people hate my content, they only want to watch me from Mario, they don't care about me. Like, all of those thoughts are just rushing in.
Yeah.
For months. And the subathon helped me to be okay with that. And now I'm way more okay with that. And it's still a problem sometimes, but I'm so much more okay with that. And it's so important that streamers be okay with different content producing different results. And then ever since then, I've been much happier with my stream. Literally, my stream was saved when I was literally I was really very close to the brink of quitting. That was life changing.
Yeah, no, that's pretty huge though. I mean, I know I saw like Pope Squidward. He was playing he's like obviously the speedrunner for Majora's Mask. He was doing a subathon as well, and like he was just playing random games as well during his. And I remember like near the end, he said the same thing. He's like, "Thank you guys so much for supporting me, because I was playing different games, and you guys actually supported me during those games. And I know that my career is not just Majora's Mask." And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's always scary to like take risks as like a content creator, because especially if it's your job, it's kind of like, holy shit, like I gotta like get these numbers up, but you still gotta find a way to like be happy during it too. So I'm glad that you found that happiness in the subathon, because that's huge.
Yeah, and funny enough, Pope actually, a lot of his motivation for doing a subathon was watching my subathon, which was really cool. Yeah. Same with Trihex. Trihex did a really good long subathon a year and a half ago, and he told me, and Fire Dragon too. There's quite a few people told me, yo, Cheese, your subathon is great, and you inspired me to try my own, which was awesome. Because Shift inspired me to do mine, and I think Shift was like, he was like one of the few more well-known speedrunners that really did big subathons. So Shift, I would say, really did start kind of like that subathon movement in speedrunning.
I was just gonna say, like, you obviously have such a big following of people, and you pretty much inspire a lot of different people every day, people that are probably gonna watch this video eventually as well. Like, how does it feel to know that somebody out there watches your content and they really look up to you as a content creator, and like they even start their own channels eventually just because of like what you do every day? Like, how does that feel? I
mean, unfortunately, I think I've gotten used to it, and I say unfortunately because like I guess this goes into like the psyche of human beings maybe, but like as human beings we can get used to like literally everything. And like as a streamer, you literally get used to people complimenting you, which kind of sucks because it does take away a lot of like the feeling of gratification of like, oh wow, that's so sweet. It really actually does, unfortunately. Because in the beginning, when people would tell me, geez, you inspired me to start streaming and speedrunning, it was like, oh my god, it really felt like that. But nowadays it's like, oh yeah, thanks, appreciate it. And that's it. It's like, yeah, I'm used to it, which sucks. I wish that was like, we wouldn't get used to stuff like that. I have to remind myself that it's an amazing thing when somebody genuinely feels inspired or whatever from watching me, but it still does make me feel, of course, it still makes me feel very proud, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's always huge to like, inspire somebody out there for anything, I mean, well, if it's good, good things, not bad things. Like we were talking about this earlier, you played other games like OOT and stuff like that. Can you see yourself, like, is there any game that kind of entices you a little bit to be like, I might try to learn the path of that, and I might go into that kind of speedrun, I guess,
I think there was one or two games, that I've mentioned or thought about. I will say, though, that I don't think there's much, or if any, Mario games that I am interested in speedrunning.
Okay.
Which, that is something that also I have to battle with as a person that is mostly known for Mario speedrunning, which is just a fact, right? When I talk about this kind of stuff, people assume that, oh, it's probably a Mario game. He's a Mario speedrunner, so he's talking about speedrunning a new game. it's going to be a Mario game.
Yeah, right.
So they're like, geez, they people all the time. Geez, are you going to speedrun the Galaxy game?
Yeah, right, exactly.
You ever gonna speedrun Sunshine? Like all the time. And unfortunately, the answer is always like, no, probably not. No. And I'm sure they probably feel a sense of disappointment. Like, I wonder why. That sucks. I love those games.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a reality. No, like I would not call myself inherently a Mario guy. I played Mario games growing up, but not even that much. I played Sunshine, maybe 1 or 2 Mario Karts. That's the only Mario and Luigi's Mansion I loved. But
yeah.
it's not the same as like Mario 3D games. It's very different. But that's pretty much it. Like I was never really a Mario guy. I just so happened to watch Mario 64 speedrunning, thought it looked really cool and fun to play. And I picked it up one day and I just got addicted to it. I got addicted to the dopamine of getting fast in a game.
Yeah.
When I played 10 years of Mario 64 and people ask me, like they assume Cheese loves Mario, clearly.
Yeah.
I do, but it's not if you ask me my favorite gaming franchise, it's not going to be Mario. Like that's the honest truth.
What is
I
it?
don't know I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah. If you would ask me, like when it comes to art, story, music, general nostalgia, Zelda, way ahead of Mario. Actually, would be my real answer.
Good.
Honestly speaking, because Mario is amazing, but it's made for kids.
True.
More so than Zelda, again, which is fine. But me as a 30-year-old adult, I don't have that nostalgic like, oh my god, this is amazing connection to Mario. Because I don't know, Zelda is more. There's more of a human aspect in Zelda, I feel like, and
Yeah,
Mario is like it's more cartoony, it's more kids-like.
Yeah, there's fucking turtles that are trying to kill you, like.
Yeah, and it's like it's fun and awesome and lighthearted games, but I don't know. I'm definitely more of like I like the darker, more sadistic storyline games. So like when I first played Dark Souls, oh my god, crazy awesome. I love the dark, gruesome, sadistic shit. I like that side of stuff much more so than the lighthearted, kidsy kind of feel of Mario games. That bores me a lot more. While they're awesome to speedrun because they're just like fast and high paced.
Right.
That's why I play Mario 64, because it's a fun game to speedrun. That's pretty much it. When I think about a game to speedrun, maybe my answer might be a Dark Souls game, Elden Ring, something like that.
Ooh.
I thought those speedruns look awesome and really cool and really technical and yeah. Or maybe another Zelda game. Perhaps something like that.
Wait, so you said Zelda is potentially your favorite series? What's your favorite game in Zelda? I'm actually kind of curious.
It has to be
Majora's
Ocarina of
Mask?
Time.
Oh.
No.
Damn.
It has to be Ocarina of Time. Just because, like, if we're talking nostalgia, Ocarina of Time is the number one for me.
Okay.
Because I actually did grow up playing Ocarina of Time way more than I grew up playing Mario 64. And when I was a kid, I used to look at Ocarina of Time as this like, it was like an alien world to me. It was like, oh my god, this Ocarina of Time is an insane game that I want to beat one day. Because I was too young to figure out how to beat it, and we never owned the game because I lived in Trinidad in the Caribbean growing up, and we didn't have access to popular games.
Yeah.
Like just straight up, like in a country like that, you want to get all the popular games, they're either sold out or are not for sale. You have to go to specific stores and they're sold out. So we were never able to like find copies of Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time. So when I would go to a friend's house and they had Ocarina of Time, it was like, literally, I don't care what we're doing. We're sitting here playing Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And so I remember being a kid and constantly like daydreaming about beating Ocarina of Time. And it's this like epic thing because to me it was this epic, realistic, scary, crazy game.
It was
and Mario to
back
me
then.
was like, to me Mario was like, oh, it's Mario. It's a jump around game, which is fun, but I didn't have that deep connection. So Ocarina of Time did it for me because it was the one I played. I'd never played Majora's Mask because that was even harder to find. So I didn't know a single person that had the game, so I never played it, unfortunately. Yeah.
But you know, like with OT, I agree with you though, because I'm 29, so I'm turning 30 this year, and so like when I first got the N64 as a kid, when we had SM64 first, I'm like, this is a fun game, I enjoyed the hell out of it, but with OT, it was just so wild to play that. Like you said, it's like a whole different universe. And like back then, the graphics were like peak, you know. So it's like okay,
Yeah. And you have to read. You actually have to read text and get into the story.
exactly.
In Mario, you don't need to read a single thing.
No.
You could figure out everything. And I think that's also a disconnect. Not a disconnect, but something that probably took away the nostalgia for me, which was like I knew that if I wanted to play OOT, I had to really get into the game and the story.
Yeah.
To understand what to do.
Right.
But in Mario, I don't have to give a shit about what's going on. Just move the guy and grab the star, right?
Yeah.
So I guess for me personally, that probably took away a connection aspect.
You're definitely right about the text though. Like in SM64, when you're in Bob on Battlefield is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
The first star when all those like water drops are falling, like you have no idea what the hell's even like. Why is it even happening? You know.
Yeah.
If you actually ask the Bob-omb, he tells you it's because of like the King Bob-omb like doing that or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, I never knew that because I literally just found that out like last week, just playing it, you know, a randomizer of it. And I like asked the Bob-omb and they're like, oh, it's the King Bob-omb. I'm like, oh, okay.
Literally, I didn't know that until probably a few years ago.
Yeah, and you've been speedrunning for 10 years.
I've been speedrunning for 10 years and I never actually stopped to think of like, what are these like bubbles falling?
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
I never realized the cannon is shooting these like water bubbles.
Yeah.
And who's commanding that? Yeah, I never ever thought of that stuff because you don't need to play in the game. You really don't.
That's my point. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you just, I mean, based off of your point too, you don't have to care about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that was every star too, and I realized the one day I'm like, it's just the first star. It's kind of weird. So I just talked to some
Yeah.
people, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is weird. Like, there's
Yeah.
no point to like talk to any NPCs for like anything at all. So
Yeah.
obviously, one of your biggest accomplishments is SM64, 120 star, getting the world record a few times. But you know, that might not be your personal biggest accomplishment when it comes to streaming. Like, what would you say was your biggest accomplishment personally? Like, when you see yourself in the mirror before you go live, what do you think to yourself is like your, I guess, like your proudest moment of streaming?
I don't know. I don't think I really put much thought into this. Well, it has to do with getting world records. I guess it was maybe even though I got lots of world records, I never really quit. I just kept going. Like I'd always like kind of like find a reason to keep going and like trying to push the game. But I would say ultimately is probably the fact that I am the reason why a lot of people and even a lot of who are now top speedrunners have started speedrunning.
Oh.
So I guess that's probably it. Like just being an inspiration. I think also maybe it sounds funny, but like being my goofy self on stream. Because like I literally get people in my chat sometimes that come in and be like, geez, I just want to let you know that like I love that you're so genuine and you literally like act however you want and don't give a shit.
Yes.
And I actually take I find a lot of value in that. Like I appreciate that a lot. And I'm very much an advocate of just being myself. And sometimes I'm crazy on stream. I don't know if you've seen me randomly shouting curse words and doing dumb shit because I have like ADHD tics and I don't care. I just do it because I think it's funny. I don't do it on purpose. That is how I am in real life. Literally, I'm in real life. My mom, I would be in the living room with my mom, and I'd be like, "Hey, mom, guess what?" And she'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "What?" Something stupid, right? I'm literally that stupid in real life. I have stupid tics, and my mom finds it hilarious, and I do it on stream. And people sometimes come in and tell me, "Geez, I love that you literally don't care and you just be yourself." That I feel really nice when people tell me that because I don't know. I guess I wish people would do that more.
Yeah.
Just not try to fall in this like box of like what they think they have to say and do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, honestly, just being yourself on stream is awesome, you know, and I know that you, like, obviously you've always been openly gay, and, like, I'm gay as well, but, like, I've only been a streamer for a few, like, years, but you've been for, like, 10 years, you know, almost 11, so it's, like, that probably was hard back in the day as well, like, to be openly gay. Maybe not, but...
It was definitely harder back then. Like in 2014, 2015, being an openly gay speedrunner, no, definitely it was not great.
Yeah.
People would definitely always be shitting on you. Even like the Mario community, the inner Mario community of like mods and people were quite toxic back then and elitist, like very much. Like they literally like slurs. People didn't care about slurs. People would be saying stuff. Even like the main mods would be shit talking people. Like it was bad.
That's fucking
And so
weird.
if I was openly gay, sure, they would definitely be making fun of it and whatever. But I mean, but the thing is, I grew up in Trinidad, a very homophobic third world country. So I was so used to it that I wouldn't have cared anyway.
Yeah.
So it would not have really affected me. But yeah, I was definitely scared to be open about it. I wasn't until 2016
Oh,
because
I didn't know that.
I didn't want to. No. So I wasn't actually open until like early 2016 when I came out to Simply and Punkay. And then, funny enough, Punkay was the one that came out for me on his stream in front of like 2,000 viewers.
Oh my god.
Because Punkay is a very funny, peculiar guy. He's kind of like unaware when it comes to like social stuff in general. So when I came out to him a few days later, he was streaming and he had like more than 1,000 viewers doing 120-star runs. And he just said casually on stream, he was like, "Did you guys know Cheese is gay? He came out to me." And like, I was just on his stream like, "Bro, like, what are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, did you not say anything yet? Oops." I'm like, "Well," and then that's literally how it happened.
Holy shit. Oh my gosh.
But
how'd you feel in that
fun.
moment where you're like, "Oh my god"?
I was nervous, but I ultimately it's whatever because they were gonna find out anyway. So
Yeah, it's probably like ripping off the Band-Aid, to be honest.
yeah.
Like going back to kind of speedrunning or stuff like that. We were talking about this actually earlier, like you and Nick and how you guys were friends and like how you guys met like at Pace, was it? Or was it Pace 2019?
Yeah.
So obviously over the last decade, you've been at so many different events. Whether it's Pace, probably SGDQ, AG, all those things. What would you say were like some of the favorite events you've been to over the years? Whether it's anything at all, not even like speedrunning, but maybe like TwitchCon, like.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's so many. My first event was SGDQ 2015.
Okay.
And like that, no, it was a good event. But we spent most of our time, me, Simply, and Punkay, we went together. We spent most of our time practicing and playing Mario because we didn't know much people and we were still so much like addicted to speedrunning, so we just like played a lot of Mario. And then later, as the years went by, we spent less and less time playing games and more hanging out with people. But my favorite GDQ was SGDQ 2018 because there was just so much people to hang out with that I just knew, and there was it was just a really good friend group, and we did so much fun stuff, and the venue was really good. I just remember having so much fun there. We were like playing volleyball and soccer and shit outside. Like it was really cool. It was just so cool. It was pure joy.
That's awesome.
And it was much more casual because speedrunning it was still much more about the grassroots, just speedrunning and having a good time. We weren't like really adults yet.
Right.
And after that started coming the whole like, streaming, content creation, and people started doing their own thing more and being more serious about it. So that was great. And then the Pace events were great because Pace post-COVID were smaller events and more grassroots. So it gave the feeling of like what the older events gave, which is more like grassroots, smaller friend groups. But my favorite event, ironically, was the last one that just happened, Pace Fall 2024.
Oh, where was that again? Was that in Maryland, right?
In Maryland.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite a small event compared to even the last Pace before that. But like for some reason, I was emotional all week. Like I was literally like, if you watch the closing ceremony when I was giving like my interview, I was crying really bad, trying to talk on stream because like I was just so emotional. And then afterwards, all of us that knew each other, we were all hugging and crying and talking together. Like it really felt like a huge family just coming together and just being so happy that we're in this thing together. Yeah, it was amazing. I think it helped me remind myself, I guess, that speedrunning kind of created a new life for me, I guess. Or, it gave us this thing to be part of and whatever, which, yeah, it made all of us, I guess, so emotional in a really nice way.
It's so beautiful that you can, you just come together, I guess, and just become a whole family. I know that, obviously, like, speedrunners from, like, back in the day, like, the, like, late 2010s, like, you're talking about how, like, back then, before the randomizers happened, it was all hyped up, and you guys all have that connection back then of just enjoying speedrunning on stream where, you guys get the big numbers and it was kind of like you did your own thing or whatever. So it's kind of nice to like see you guys come together at those events and still kind of maintain that kind of like familiarity with each other.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Do you plan on like going back, like I mean, coming back to the States and doing more like this year?
Well, funny enough, I'm traveling on Thursday.
Oh yeah, duh.
I'm traveling on Thursday to New York for the Mario Summit, which is being run, it's being run by GSA, which also ran Pace, which I'm on the board of GSA. I'm one of the co-founders of GSA, so I helped, of course, run the Pace events, more like behind the scenes. But so it's the Mario Summit, so we're gonna have all sorts of Mario games. Mario content creators do Mario stuff for 3 days. So it's gonna be like themed summits, I guess, is the idea. So like main speedrunning events this year is probably not gonna happen for me, and it's gonna be the first year ever since I started speedrunning, except for 2020 because of COVID, obviously.
Yeah, COVID, yeah.
That I won't be going to an event.
Oh wow.
Like a main speedrunning event. When I think about it, what happened? Yeah, 2021 as well. But I probably will go to GDQ again, because it's literally been since 2019 since I've been into a GDQ. So I would like to go to one again, and everybody's gonna be different, but I think it's worth checking that out again. I would like to try.
So like at those events though, obviously, you know, you were saying that there's different people there that you talk to and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you know, you meet a lot of different fans, but also you meet fellow creators. Who are like some of the people that you met at those events that you were like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting this person like back in the day?
One of the first like people that I met that I was like fangirling over was maybe Caleb Hart. So in GDQ 2015, day one of the first people I saw, he walked in and I met him, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And like everybody knew me because I just got the world record the first time.
Okay.
And it didn't click in. I was still very young and shit too, so it didn't click into my head the idea that I got world record in the most popular speed run. So obviously everybody's gonna know me.
Yeah.
So the fact that Caleb, people like Fire Dragon, who I also met at that event, and all of them came up to me and being like, oh my god, it's the Legend Cheese. And every time I was like, oh, they know me? Oh my god, this is crazy. It didn't click into my head. Like, of course, it makes sense. I just got the world record in 120 star. Of course they're gonna know me. Like that's like the most popular thing, right? I remember ZFG being a really cool one because he was also one of the guys I started watching.
I love ZFG.
So yeah, I met him in 2016 AGDQ, and I remember being like, wow, that's CFG, holy shit. I've never really been like a huge person to like fangirl over people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not really. I have been the subject of being fangirled over many times though, which you know, yeah, it makes sense. But there have been many times at events where I would see somebody who's obviously like trying to come up to me to say hi, and you could see they're so nervous.
Yeah.
And I would like feel bad and just, you know, I'll kind of just wait for them to come up to me, and when they do, they're so nervous. And I feel incredibly honored, but I wish I could just let them know, don't worry, I'm just a human being. Like, it's okay. Like, don't like, but it really is. Obviously it's a great feeling, and I feel so honored. But then there's a side of does probably not do great things for our ego as streamers. You know, being praised a lot. So like, sometimes I try to remind myself that I'm just a human being, and like, don't, you know, just because I'm a streamer, I'm not special.
Right.
I'm not cool or cooler than anybody else, you know. But it's I guess important to point out that it's really hard sometimes to like to give yourself an ego check. It subconsciously affects you sometimes, because I guess sometimes feel myself in situations where I have to fight the feeling or the urge to talk about myself or something like that in IRL situations, because literally your job as a streamer is to talk about yourself all day.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It's the most egotistical thing that you can do, is be a streamer. You're talking.
Yeah.
Your job is to talk about yourself and see people suck you off online all day. That's literally your job. So like, it's really hard to not. Yeah, it's hard to not get egotistical and narcissistic doing that all day, every day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I never thought of it like that, actually. We were talking about, you know, the event. You were talking about your fans, how like they see you from a distance, they're kind of nervous and stuff like that. That's amazing. And sometimes you probably like not even like met all of the ones that wanted to say hi to you. They're kind of just so nervous about it, but they're probably gonna watch this video and wonder, like, what does Cheese have to say about anything, about when it comes to like him streaming, his speedrunning, whatever it is. But my podcast is usually about a content creator's journey, where they came from start to finish, and advice that they can give to people that are starting off. There's definitely probably people in your community that are looking at you and they're watching what you do and they're excited to like start their own journey. Kind of might be nervous, maybe like, they're thinking it might not work out, I will suck, whatever it is. Or they're just kind of scared because they have no idea what they're even going to be doing. So what would you say to like a fan of yours that's out there that wants to start streaming but they have no idea what they're doing? What would you say to old Cheese 05 or 05 back in like 2013? What would you say to him?
Yeah. Well, what I would tell them back in 2014 and now in 2025, would be completely different. Just because in 2025, the requirements for like being a streamer or growing as a streamer is so much different than back then. So what I would say now in 2025, starting off, I mean, first and foremost, I guess, understanding that if you do want to grow as a streamer, as a personality or content creator, it is of utmost importance nowadays, unfortunately, to have like at least a good, decent quality stream. Like you really want to have at least the mic and webcam. Some people can make it really big without webcam, but it's so rare. And you have to have such like particular shticks or something. If you can have the microcam, huge. You really gotta have that to begin with. And I guess understanding that it can't just only be about like focusing on being really good at a game anymore. You have to really sell something unique. And people care way more nowadays about you, the streamer, and your like reactions and opinions and stuff and how you interact, more so than like whatever you're streaming. An ideal streamer who's really made it, quote unquote, can stream literally anything and still get a really successful stream and an interactive chat and stuff going. I think Liam is a good example of somebody in the speedrunning space who has become a streamer. Where last night I went on Liam's stream, literally last night, and he was playing this Winnie the Pooh baseball game that I've never seen in my life. And whatever the boy's name in Winnie the Pooh is, Christopher Robin is throwing a ball, and Winnie the Pooh's batting, and it's just like a very binary game. You hit the ball or don't, and that's it.
Yeah.
And Liam is streaming this game, and he has 1,500 viewers, and his chat is popping off because Liam is just reading comments and answering questions in a funny way. And that's literally his stream. His stream is Liam and how he reacts to people. His stream is not he's playing this game and this game is interesting. People don't care about that anymore. That's not what it's about anymore. So I guess that would be my advice. It's going into streaming knowing that that's how it works, and not what it is you're streaming, but the quality of stream you provide. And I love how I'm saying all of this, but I'm still personally learning how to do that myself. So like I know what I have to do, but I'm still trying to figure out how to like do that, because I'm still learning too. Because the goal as a streamer is to have an interactive chat as much as possible.
Right.
That's another point I would make. Find a way to get your stream to a point where you reach to the right audience, where you can stream whatever, and you have interactivity in your chat at all times.
Yeah.
If you could do that, you are a successful streamer. Period. Whether you have 200 viewers or 2,000.
Yeah.
I don't think the viewer numbers matter. The interactivity in chat is what matters. 100%.
Yeah, because when you have like that interactive chat, it shows that it shows somebody that's new. Maybe they're like a chat. I mean, most people are like lurkers, I feel, but like,
yeah.
Also at the same time, there's a lot of chatters too. So like, if you go into like a chat, you see people just chatting to the streamer. That's so welcoming to some people. So like the interactivity is definitely the best thing you can actually do too. I agree with that. I only have one last question for you actually. So we're at the end of the interview. I had a good time with you today. That was, I'm so glad that you're on this the podcast. I really do appreciate you. You definitely gave me even like more insight. Every single guest that I have on has given me different answers about content creation, and I believe that anybody starting off, if they just binge all of the videos, they'll be pretty goated. So I appreciate, I had a good time with you though, just chit chatting and stuff. But obviously, I said earlier how you how you have like a large community, and many of them will be watching the video.
Mhm.
What would you want to say to your community, just face to face, off stream right now? Like, what would you want to say to them at all? Whatever you want to like talk about.
To my community,
The babes.
so to my babe coins, well, what do I have to say to them? Oh my god, well, obviously thank you so much for supporting. Like, there are actually sometimes where I'll be streaming and I would see like the regulars that are there every single stream, that I actually sometimes have the thought come to my head of, damn, how do you watch, like, why do you watch me every day? Why what is it about me that makes you want to always tune in all the time? But also I'm like insanely grateful for it. I'm like, damn, especially nowadays, I tell myself, damn, I'm so lucky that I have these people that just want to show up all the time. Like, literally, because of them, I have a job. Like, because our viewers give us a job, like, literally. And I think streamers don't talk about that enough, to be honest.
Nope.
That the fact that literally our viewers are giving us a job. I should probably mention that more on my stream. Remind my viewers, hey guys, remember, like, you are the reason why I'm doing this. Like, you're amazing. And I remember doing that a lot in the subathon, of course, especially with all the support I got. It was like, oh my god. I think maybe as streamers we should probably do that more, is thanking people that watch us. My community is a very wholesome, loving community. It really is. There's a lot of streams nowadays, especially the bigger streams, their vibe is based around like creating memes, and sometimes like making fun of the streamer is like that's like the bit.
Yeah.
But in my stream is not about that at all. My chat does not like making fun of me. They like being nice and loving, and everything is about loving each other. And that's it's very wholesome and very like goofy, and it's a direct reflection of my personality, I think, because I'm an extremely like loving and goofy person.
Yeah.
I like, that's all I care about. I like being goofy and just like spreading love and stuff. And so I was able to create a community based off of like basically what my personality is. So I guess the viewers that watch me and support me and also do that, I just have to be grateful for them, that they like my personality.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you definitely, every time that I'm in there, I love it. Everybody's always nice and welcoming, so I do appreciate it. So that's the end of episode number 9 of Streamers Unplugged with Cheese. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please check him out. All his links will be in the description below. His Twitch, his YouTube, his Instagram. Please check him out. He's great. Really good guy. Really down to earth. You guys will like his streams. And I had a good time today. I hope you guys learned a lot of different things. Subscribe to me as well. Give the video a like. Whatever you want to do. And I will see you guys in episode 10 with Zacking Ball. I appreciate you guys so much. As always, do something nice for somebody today, because you never know if that one little thing makes them entire day better.
I love you, and I hope you live your best life.
Hell yeah, let's go. I don't know. Sorry, I put you on the spot with that.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
Yes. Have a good time for always. I'll see you guys later, and bye.
Bye.
Bye.